Hey guys, I'm Mason, and this is Wrestling in the Dark, the only wrestling review and recap show brought to you by a blind fan, as far as I know. NXT 502. What happened and how good was it? If you want to find out, stick with me as I take a look through this week's NXT and see how it all panned out. The show kicked off with a strong match between Buddy Murphy and Velveteen Dream for the NXT North American Championship. It was a slow start to the match, at least for me. The commentators were mainly just expositing. They were trying to just put it over each man, get people who might not have seen Buddy Murphy since he left NXT, just trying to get them familiar with who he is now, put over his time as NXT... as Cruiserweight champ. They made him feel like a big deal coming in. This was a nice personal feeling match because of the Dream's mocking of Buddy for losing his championship, and I really enjoyed this match once it got started. It kicked off really with a meteora from Buddy Murphy to the Velveteen Dream. It all just really picked up in pace suddenly, and this was full of quite big spots really. For me, the star of the match was just the Velveteen Dream, but that might just be because I am a huge mark for the Dream right now, and I think that he's got quite a recognisable moveset. The fact that he incorporates Legends moves into his moveset helps with that. He hit a huge super kick at one point that sounded like a whip crack, but he didn't manage to get anything from it. He got an avalanche... sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. He got a springboard double axe handle on Buddy Murphy, and... again, couldn't capitalise off it, but I really liked that it was just showing the athletic ability of the Velveteen Dream. Buddy Murphy locked in the sleeper and had a handful of hair to try and keep it in. He hit an avalanche flip suplex at one point, which I thought sounded really nice. And then there was a nice spot where he goes for the leaping sunset flip, and rolls through, and Dream gets the Dream Valley Driver for the near fall. And I really thought that was a nice little sequence that really got me into it. I was really into the near fall, really bought into it. There was a couple of moments in here where I thought that they would give the championship to Buddy Murphy and then maybe move the Dream up to the main event of NXT, but that just speaks to the drama of the match. At one point, Buddy Murphy hit a super kick and a sit-out powerbomb. That was a nice near fall. He hit a leaping running knee strike on the Dream, and Dream rolled to the outside, and Murphy broke the count at 9 so that he didn't get the count out win, so because he knew that he couldn't win the championship like that, and I really liked that. As they were getting back in the ring, Dream hit the Famouser, and Buddy no-sold it, but Dream got him in the Dream Valley Driver and then hit the Purple Rain Maker for the finish, and that was the end of the match, and I really enjoyed it. By the time that the final bell rang, I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed that match, and it was a great way of kicking off the show. Also, there was a nice near fall from a code breaker. I almost forgot to say that. I really like that Velveteen Dream incorporates those Legends moves, just because it never feels like he's ripping them off, and it's recognisable for me. So I really liked that. And this match, I really can't think of a way that I would have made it better, other than kicking off the action a little bit earlier. But I don't think that, had I been able to see it, it'd have been a slow start. I think it was just the commentators weren't talking about that early action. They were busy building the characters. So that is the only thing that blocked it from getting a 6, but I gave it a 5 out of 6. Really enjoyed this match, and I recommend a watch. So after that nice start to the show that picked up the momentum and got me really drawn in, the momentum just screeches to a halt because they say Johnny Gargano addresses the crowd next, and then they go to a WWE shop advertisement, which is fine, and they have to do that. And then they go to this weird wedding video package again. That someone needs to tell me what's going on with this, because I'm not sure whether it's some sort of advert or it's supposed to be a video package and it's supposed to be putting people over, but the commentators haven't mentioned it, so I really can't see it being that they're trying to put someone over with this video package. So is it some sort of weird advertisement? Anyway, it goes on for a really, really long time, and it really took me out of it. And then we got a Street Profits promo pre-tape skit. One of the things that annoyed me about this segment was that they had the music for the Street Profits really, really loud. So even though Street Profits have got this nice chemistry to them, they come across as a charismatic team, and they come across as good mates, good friends, but it's sort of spoiled by the fact that I can barely hear what's going on because the music's so loud. So they're talking about making opportunities for themselves, because that's what you're supposed to do. And they're going to go to Regal's office and ask to face the War Raiders Viking Experience. And as they're about to go to Mr. Regal's office, the War Raiders Viking Experience come out, and they're like, "We've heard everything you've been saying. We beat you to the punch." And they reveal that there's a match now booked for next week, the Street Profits versus the War Raiders / Viking Experience. And that should be a really good match. But like I said, this segment was sort of put down for me by the fact that the music was just a little bit too loud. They could have done with mixing that better. The NXT champion Johnny Gargano addresses the crowd next in celebration of his winning the championship, and he comes out to a huge ovation. They're all chanting Johnny Champion, and I sort of feel like I'm in with those few people that are chanting against Johnny. Not because I'm not behind him, because I really am, but after everything that he's gone through, I still have this little feeling in my stomach when he comes out of like, I don't completely trust you. However, I don't think that we're supposed to have that. So once I get over that, it'll be fine. But it was a really, really good promo. He really connects with the crowd, just celebrates his win, and then he's interrupted by Adam Cole, and they have a little exchange. Cole says that he beat Gargano in the middle of the ring, and he should be the champion if it was any other type of match. Gargano points out that he then went on to beat Cole twice, which, you know, puts him ahead of Cole, and Cole just answers with "shut up," and I loved that. It was just like, you're right, but I hate it. And Gargano was just firing puns away with this one. He he said to Adam Cole, "What's wrong? Is everything not okay with your boyfriend, boyfriends, with your boy band? Everything not quite NSYNC." I liked that. That was it tickled me, even though it shouldn't. I hate puns like that because they make me laugh, and I really don't think they should. But he also called Adam Cole a crying, whining baby, and I like that. Then Roderick Strong came out. He attacked Gargano after Gargano issued the challenge to Cole. The Undisputed Era beat down Johnny Gargano. Poor Johnny has no friends in NXT to come out and back him up. Ciampa's gone and now he has no backup. And I really enjoyed the fact that they made the Undisputed Era look strong here, sort of paying back for the fact that they didn't look quite as strong after the TakeOver match, which they've now turned into a story. So I may as well jump ahead a little bit and say that there was a backstage interview. Kathy Kelly was talking to Adam Cole, and she asked him what he thought of what Johnny Gargano said. Regal interrupted and said that Johnny had asked for a match next week. Cole was delighted because he thought it was going to be him, but Regal revealed that Johnny had asked for Roderick Strong instead, which I think is a really, really clever move from Johnny, driving that wedge further into Undisputed Era. Now Adam Cole's going to feel like Roderick Strong's stealing his spotlight. It's a really cool angle, really. I'm not sure whether they're going to go for Roderick Strong ended up getting kicked out Adam Cole ended up getting kicked out and Roderick Strong taking the leadership from him. I like it. I like that there's faction drama going on, and you can't really complain about that sort of stuff because it's always interesting. Nice move from Johnny there. In general, I gave this Johnny Gargano segment a 5 out of 6. It was a really, really strong promo segment, drove that story forward, and I can't wait to see where it goes next week. Next, as quickly as I can, we got a Dominik Dijakovic squash match and promo. The match was literally one move, and then he said that he was coming for Velveteen Dream's NXT NA Championship. That was just a basic segment. I barely even really want to rate it. I'll give it a 4 out of 6 because it's just a basic squash that reminds us all that Dominik Dijakovic is there and it's functional. Then we got Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne challenging Candice LeRae to a tag match next week, and they showed nice character in that. It was nice work again. Just a short and sweet segment, 4 out of 6. Then, in the main event, we got Shayna Bazler versus Kairi Sain in her last ever attempt at the NXT Women's Championship. This was a great match. Started off really, really fast. Kairi Sain came out really quickly with that back fist, trying to really take it to Shayna in the early moments. It really seemed like she was on fire, just desperate to get the championship, knowing that this is the last chance, and I really liked that. It really played into the drama of the match, and I just really enjoyed that they played up on this on this stipulation that they basically have put there to explain why she's going to main roster, but it's a nice way to cap things off. And she hit a crossbody from the apron to Shayna on the outside. She got a near fall, and there was it was all Kairi Sain for quite a while. She hit an insane elbow on the back of Shayna Baszler's neck. She went for another one, but Baszler countered with an enziguri. They fought for a little bit by the ropes, and then Kairi Sain ended up she ended up hitting that double stomp, and it all sort of started to turn round for the kabuki elbow on the outside, and she missed, and she hit her elbow on the barricade, and from then on she had a target on her. She already had somewhat of a target because of that kinesial tape on the shoulder, but once she'd hit the elbow, that was it. Shayna was just like a shark with blood. She came in, she hit that stomp on the arm that she's used in the past, particularly on Dakota Kai. They really, really like reminding you about that one. But after that, she was just working the arm, and other than that, we the only other Kairi Sain thing that we got was her locking in the anchor and not being able to get full extension on the legs. So Baszler made the rope break. But like I said, after it turned round, once she'd hurt her arm, Baszler just was all over her. At one point, Morrow was going, "Listen to the screams of pain coming from Kairi Sain's body," and it just really made me laugh because I was like, "Coming from her body?" Like, it's just, she's screaming. Just say she's screaming. Towards the end, though, the docs came down. They were checking on Sain's arm, and Baszler went to attack her. Io Shirai ran down to make the save, and she ended up attacking Baszler because she was going for the stomp on Kairi Sain's arm again, and that led to the DQ. And then the 3 horsewomen then laid the beat down, and that was the last call, really. I really, really enjoyed this. It's a good way to cap things off. Kairi Sain goes out looking strong. Bazler looks as strong as ever, gets another win under her belt. And they also sort of give a reason for the Sky Pirates split up. Obviously, they didn't do any turn or anything like that. But now that Io is sort of cost her the championship, she's just going to go off with Asuka for a little bit instead. I really, really enjoyed this show, and I really enjoyed this match. I gave it a 5 out of 6. I love Shayna Baszler's matches. I love how much the psychology is there. I love how brutal and arrogant she is, and how much everyone has to just fight to overcome her. And once they've overcome her, then they have to deal with the other two horsewomen. And I really, really enjoyed this main event. The three talking points from this show really were the dream match, the Gargano promo, and this match. It was a really, really strong showing. Like I said, I gave this a 5 out of 6. So that's what I thought of this week's NXT. I thought that this episode altogether was a really strong 5 out of 6 show. It slowed down after the first match for a little bit, but it really drew me back in afterwards. And after the Gargano promo started, it all zipped along to the finish nice and quickly. What did you think of this, though? You should let me know in those comment section down below. Let's have a conversation started, because I just really want to know what everyone else thought. If you've liked what you've heard here, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all of my episodes, hit that subscribe button and hit the notify bell, and you'll never miss an episode of Wrestling in the Dark. Just before I sign out, I want to give a huge shout out to Cody Miles for designing me the logo for my channel, and I just really appreciate it. So there's your shout out, Cody. 15 minutes of fame. Right guys, I'm off, and you should have a good one.